Hey there, long-time listener. Right now feels pretty good to be at the top of the leaderboard. I just want to say, Alex, you need to quit talking shit. No one can hear you from all the way down there. I got some hard weeks coming up, but looking forward to finishing out this season strong.
All right, we are back. Thank you, Nathan, for that voicemail of you whispering in the corner of your house somewhere. We appreciate that. How you doing, Justin? Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, hey, thanks, man. Hold on.
What are you playing over there?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm falling apart over here. Birthday was nice. Just another day in the life. Took the day off work, went and played a little golf.
You got
Um,
18 in?
I got 36 in actually.
Good God.
Yeah, I
That's
went and
so much
played this
golf.
morning by myself out at Tierra Verde, which was a super nice course. And then CJ met up. CJ skipped out of work early and met up with me, so got a chance to play again.
Classic Siege. So what did you score on the first 18?
The first 18 was an 84. The second 18, CJ is probably going to have to let me know because we were actually playing a game. He did get his ass waxed. It's not close.
Oh!
Like on the first tee box, he walked up and he was like, "Hey, no pops," which means I'm not giving him any strokes. That was a mistake on his part. He shouldn't do that again. He will learn. He's just awfully confident right now.
Yeah, dude, he's awfully confident in fucking fantasy again. You remember when this happened a couple weeks ago? He finally got his first dub. Then he acted like he was top of the food chain again, and now he's ripped off a couple in a row. We're going to talk about that with the Alls matchup. But now he's all of a sudden acting like he's a fucking contender again. This guy,
Well,
when
look,
will he
man,
learn?
look, you and I have no idea what that feels like right now. It's a distant memory as far as competing. So I'm not going to give him
Yeah,
too much hell for it.
that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. So this last week was ass, right? I mean,
Yep.
obviously my team's always ass, but just across the board, terrible, terrible week.
Yeah, bad week for fantasy. And when I was going through the injury report, it's not as if people got hurt. People were just bad. It was bad football, not across the board. Some people popped, and we'll get to those. But odds are your team, you listening out there, odds are your team sucked.
Yeah, and most of the stars across the board really let you down. And I'm sure what's funny is our podcast has been talking about this. I think Trent commented on it as well that this year just seems kind of weird in terms of fantasy football. And they're talking about how scoring's 20% lower than it's been the last couple of years. And we're all really feeling that because you remember when people used to drop 160 on the reg?
And
That's
we'll
not
get
happening.
there. We'll get there. I mean, even earlier this year, me and Josh we scared those high numbers. So they're out there. It's going to be less frequent for sure. And if it's a new landscape, everyone's playing with this. It's an even playing field. So, scoring goes down, it goes down across the board.
Oh, of course, it's less fun, right? More
The
points,
cream
the
will
more fun it
always
is.
rise, Alex. Always.
Yeah,
And right now,
yeah.
that cream is fucking CJ and Nathan.
No, it's the cream is
Disgusting.
not.
Disgusting.
The cream is Josh, Nathan, and is Brandon.
Michael.
Brandon's 5-1. Michael's not the cream. His team's probably
Well,
the best,
Michael's got
but
a
his
good little
record.
team.
No, his team's great, and we'll get into that. All right, past week, let's go ahead and talk about some injuries. You lost somebody, injured their foot. Hollywood Brown. First, it looked like it was going to be out for the season. Now it's looking more like a month to 6 weeks. What are your thoughts?
So part of me is at least relieved that I have Gabe Davis. That's somebody he's not going to have week to week. He's not going to be worth a goddamn, but he's going to have to start every single week except for this week because he's on bye. I'm not going to have enough receivers to play this week. It's just, I'm fucked. But Marquise Brown, that's a huge, huge hit. Um, it's not as if I don't have an answer for you. It's not something I'm going to recover from. It's just, going to have to scrap my way from 2 and 5.
Sure.
Brutal.
Yeah, you're telling me, brother. And then Carson Wentz. I imagine this is pretty insignificant. Chris would have been a fool to start him again. And then, if anything, those receivers maybe a change of pace will be good. So I don't think I don't think anything too big there. And
No,
then
the
Kenny
only
Pickett.
reason he's on there is because there were not many big injuries this week. Like
Yeah,
Brait, the tight end from the Bucks, was also on the injury report, but these are the only three. And I think by now, Carson Wentz and Kenny Pickett, if you've had those receivers, you haven't been starting them confidently anyways. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, it looks like Kenny Pickett will probably play this week. At least that's what they said today in the injury practice report. And if Kenny Pickett plays, Pickens is an interesting start.
I do just want to give you a heads up. The Astros have the bases loaded with one out and Kyle
Do
Tucker
not
up.
mention baseball. No more baseball. No more baseball.
Okay, no more baseball.
You can look away. People can listen to the sweet sound of my voice. Waiver wire additions. We're looking at Pat's D for 7. Who grabbed him for 7?
No. Pat's D had 7 separate bids on them.
Oh,
Brandon,
that doesn't shock me at all.
Brandon won it with 15, and there was a
That's
13,
really heavy on a defense.
There was a 9 all the way down to like 5.
I did 3, I think. Yeah.
Okay. But that was really the only big, like Mike Gesicki is mentioned here as well. He went for 5. Like he was not a huge deal, but the Pats
not a great waiver wire week.
People. Yeah.
The 2 big additions would have been Wandale and Latavius. I have both of them. So, I'm just rolling in the riches over here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, let's get into some trades real quick. So we had
only
Austin
one since
Michael.
Last week.
Michael and I have a couple I'm going to bring up to you as some insider info. You know how we do on the pod.
Sure.
Michael Thomas and Pollard for DJ Moore and Elijah Mitchell. I'll let you give your thoughts first. No, I didn't mind.
No, I mean, so as far as stats, Michael, congratulations on finally getting rid of Michael Thomas. This is a back end of the roster trade. There's not a whole lot to dive into here. Elijah Mitchell is probably the number one in this trade, I guess. But even he's part of a committee that you're not necessarily trusting week to week. So,
yeah, he may be good running back depth. I'm not sure what Austin was going for here, but maybe Michael Thomas pans out. I don't know. And then I think Michael's just taking the flyer on DJ Moore and he gets traded. I think that's all he's doing there. Okay, let me run a scenario by you, and you tell me which side of it you'd want to be on, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather have Etienne and Wilson or Aaron Jones?
Which Wilson are we talking about? Garrett Wilson?
No. Jeff.
I would much rather have Jeff Wilson than Etienne instead of Aaron Jones.
Okay. So I offered him that. Yeah, he asked me what I wanted for Etienne. I offered him that. He said no. He would rather have Zeke and Etienne for Aaron Jones.
Has he had a chance to watch Aaron Jones play football this year?
I think he has. I think that's why he's willing to move him. He was just trying to get a little extra juice out of it.
Yeah, I don't think you can command that for an Aaron Jones right now, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I said no. And then the other trade, which I thought was funny. Sorry, Michael, to put you on blast here, but Michael had offered. Let's see here. It's coming. I thought I would see. Okay. Man, I don't even remember what it was. I thought he sent me a picture of it, but it was like Mark Andrews for Jalen Hurts and somebody else. I know that somebody else means a lot, but then CJ didn't even. Okay, here it is. Hurts and Higbee for Mark Andrews. What are your thoughts on that?
I like the idea of trying to leverage one of the top 5 quarterbacks. Like if you have one of those guys, I think you can pretty much go get. Or the idea is you can go get anybody you want. Mark Andrews is not. He's an exception. You can take.
You think he's untradeable?
He's pretty damn close. I don't know why Michael would be trying to move Jalen Hurts.
Well,
Yeah. Well, I've got Zach Ertz. Just come get a Zach Ertz.
Okay. All right.
Don't blow the wad on. All I'm trying to say is if you have one of these guys that everybody wants, you can't be trading quarterbacks right now. Not in the current environment of this league. Not one of those guys, anyways.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our highest and our lowest scorer. Our highest score of the week was a 142. My opponent, what was his song?
I don't know. You said you had it.
You're in charge of the tech.
You never told me what it was.
Oh my God. This is so
What do you
embarrassing.
want me to do?
All right, play Logan's voicemail. Go.
Okay. Well, I wasn't even prepared for that, so we're just gonna play Logan's
Pull
voicemail.
it together.
Hey guys, calling once again. This is Logan, calling from Madison. I'm gonna go ahead and just give my matchups of who I think's gonna win and who I think's gonna lose. So we'll start with myself and Nathan. I think I'm gonna lose. Next, Matt and Austin. I think Matt's gonna win. Next, between CJ and Josh. Josh is gonna destroy it. Next, I think Brandon is going to beat Trenton. Next, we're going to have Michael beating Justin. Next, we're going to have Chris beating Alex. That is all. Thank y'all.
Hey, so when he said that is all, do you think that was all, Alex?
Yeah, that's what I would think that is all would mean. I mean, he even ended it with his voice going in an up inflection like it's the end.
He did. He wanted me to clarify that there is a part 2. So here's part 2 for you.
Hey guys, I'm sorry about the first voicemail. That's just out of character for me. I'm just upset, you know. I was riding high after the first couple of voicemails, came on the pod, and you know, I was just kind of feeling good, you know, and then just 2 L's in a row. I don't like my team anymore. I'm just really upset and down. So if y'all could just comfort me in this situation, maybe just give me a call later, give me a shout. That would really be helpful. Because, yeah, I'm looking at a baseball bat right now, and I'm thinking about taking it to my head. So, yeah, just call me, shoot me a text, just follow up with me. That'd be great. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Love the show sometimes. Okay, bye.
Good Lord, man.
Mercifully, that is the end.
God, what a pathetic little man. Just to drag on like that for half an hour about his failure.
Just
I mean,
about. I told
God.
you were weren't going to like it.
No, I hated it. This is a man who's falling apart. I mean, hello, darkness, my old friend, for sure. But Logan, pull it together, dude. You cannot be doing that.
Yeah, and he's not even scraping the bottom of the barrel yet, is he? I mean, Logan is sitting at 3-3. He's got plenty to look forward to coming off a bad week.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you're 3-3, right? You're still in this. You're still very much in this thing. Make some moves. Don't take the baseball bat to your head. That's just not necessary, Logan. We'll text Katie and do a welfare check for you. All right, I think we've managed to put together the highest scoring song. No, you're waving your hands at me.
Well, look. So
you're flustered.
Is it just the quote, or is it an actual song?
Okay, he texted me. Let me see. It just says start from the beginning. So he just wants this video played from the beginning.
Got it. Well, I can handle that for our winner.
Well, congratulations to Michael. Highest score, 142 points. You told me it was going to be close.
Well, we're gonna sit here and listen to this Jack Daniels commercial because you weren't prepared. You didn't have.
I wasn't prepared. I asked you to tech guy once, and you fall apart.
We make Jack fire. You make it count.
Always gotten
every single one. Look, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second belt. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 belts ready. Spit showing for me. They're both in the octagon. It's never been done before.
I'm sure you'll get your second belt, but
listen, I've spent a lot of time, Joe, slating everybody in the company. Backstage, I'm starting fights off everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
So I'm sure he didn't intend for me to play that entire interview, but
here we are.
Yeah, Michael, congratulations on your highest scoring week. I'm very sorry we bungled that.
He's saying he's going to get his second ring. We'll see if he can do it. See if he can achieve what only the greatest has. Okay. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get into our week 6 results, huh?
Are we not going to do our lowest score?
Of course we're going to do our lowest score. Our lowest score just had a 3-minute voicemail. I guess I just forgot that there was more to do about him. All right, hit us with the song, Justin.
You didn't do it, didn't reach your goal. Your heart is broken, you're an asshole. In the end, you didn't have what it takes. So here's to you and your huge mistakes. You're humiliated, hollowed out, and exhausted. You were in the ring fighting the fight and you lost it. This isn't your time, this wasn't for you. At least you did everything you could do. You're a loser, but
there we go.
Love it. Love it. Spot on.
Congratulations, Logan.
Every single one of those adjectives is spot on. I mean, he is nothing but a loser.
And he's obviously humiliated. I mean, we could tell from his voicemail.
God bless. I mean, I'm 1-5, and I haven't felt that kind of.
Well, you have dignity, Alex. That's the difference.
Dignity. Don't y'all forget it. All right, now let's get into our week 6 results. So Nathan 4-2, very easily handled Matt 2-4. How about you break this down for us?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just say right away that this is finally the Joe Burrow game. Congratulations to Nathan. You finally got what you were hoping for from probably, I'm not sure how high Joe Burrow went, but he was probably like a 5th or 6th rounder. Then you've got Najee Harris showing signs of life. It's still pathetic. It's still not what you're hoping for.
12.9 is signs of life.
Signs of life. That's all we're looking for. If you have a guy you drafted in the first round who consistently gets you sub 8 points for the first 5 weeks, and then you're getting 13, I think you're happy. I think, it's not what you're looking for necessarily.
I hear you. All right.
Your receiving core is pretty gross, but Jalen Waddle still putting up decent numbers. Chris Godwin's still reliable. You still have Travis fucking Kelce, so you've got a wide receiver 1 at tight end. And then on the other side, Matt, man, Kyler's been more disappointing this season.
Nick Chubb finally came back down to earth.
Yeah, I didn't get him anything. And then, you're starting Romeo Doubs at wide receiver 2 and Alec Pierce at flex. You weren't going to win. You were never going to win. So, that's the story of this game.
I obviously have, for whatever reason, Matt and I are coming for each other's throat this year in the group text. But he did have Derrick Henry and St. Brown on bye. So, I mean, those are 2 pretty big hitters. On the other side, like you said, this is Joe Burrow carrying this team. The good news about Waddle and Tyreek is McDaniel. Who's the Dolphins head coach name?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniels. Okay, McDaniels. His offense is so centered around just those 2 wide receivers, forcing them in space, getting them open, that they will continue to be reliable. And then, like you said, if you have Kelce or Andrews, it is such an outrageous advantage this year in fantasy. His running backs are gross. They're absolutely gross. At this point, I do not think this team is a contender, but congratulations to Nathan for being 4-2. All right, who we got next? Josh 5-1 versus Austin. Neither team broke 90. It's fucking bullshit. You had Austin dropping 76.82 and still not being the lowest scorer. And then on the other side, you have Josh. Austin Eckler has been phenomenal. I think Josh Kelly got hurt. We didn't touch on that, but that will be continuous for Eckler to be very good. Starting Michael Carter cannot feel great. Breece Hall has turned out to be an absolute stud. We'll talk about that when we get to Brandon. And he got a lot of failure on terms as far as like Goddard's concerned. He played a great Dallas defense. Lockett finally wasn't consistent, which, I mean, you have to expect that. You can't expect Geno to truly be an MVP level player. I think Lamar's missing Rashad Bateman a little bit. He'll get back soon. Tom Brady, I don't know. Do you think
the Bucs
Tom
are bad?
Brady you think they figure it out, or we think we're finally seeing it?
I won't go as far as to say we're finally seeing it, but the Bucs are not good. Like, I don't know that it's necessarily he's the problem, but that's
look. All those wide receivers were back, and he left his family for that team.
Yeah.
You saw him chewing out the O-line. I raved all last week how good of a start Eno Benjamin was, and that clearly paid off with his 9.5 points. Like you said, Aaron Jones has just been a beatdown of a player. Cooper Kupp might be his lowest scorer of the season. And then, I mean, you can't trust anyone in Denver. Njoku's not going to produce. And if Clyde's not getting in the end zone, you're not getting shit from Clyde. So I don't think Austin's got a great team. I think he's aware of that, and that's why he's trying to make some moves. Any additional comments about Austin's team from you?
No, I think you hit it. I think neither of these teams is good, at least for this past week. Any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your 9 players don't break 10, and you still manage to win. Like, you kind of, talk about bullshit luck. Sure wish a little bit of that was coming our way, but
yeah, no fucking kidding. All right, Brandon 5-1 versus Logan 3-3. We've talked a lot about Logan already, but this is your analysis, so take it away.
All right, so Logan had the unfortunate designation of having somebody go negative. It's a defense, so that happens. But anytime that happens, you're just already set up for failure. Justin Herbert, gross game. Hey, you got something from Joe Mixon about his projection, so you're happy about that. On the other side, you got what you expect. This is what I consider the floor to be for Patty and Josh. Like 23, 24 points is probably the bottom. Saquon, fucking number 1 overall pick. Who the hell knew? You were right about Breece Hall, stud. Even out of
if you redraft today, Saquon and Breece both go top 8 picks. Don't you think?
It depends.
Like you start a new league today.
I think it would be more wide receiver heavy than this one was. Like we had 16 running backs go in the first 2 rounds. Like how stupid is that? How many of those guys are performing? Right. Like we're not.
But still, if you did top 8 picks, right? Then obviously, Diggs, and the other elite guys, Jefferson, Kupp,
Breece Hall. He may be like a first round, second round on that term. That's where I kind of see him being.
Dude, I think I'd take Breece over Dalvin Cook. I think I'd take Breece over Joe Mixon. Right?
Sure.
Okay, so here's one for you. I'll throw you Breece or Derrick Henry.
I think I'd still take Derrick Henry. Okay, is it Breece Hall or is it Mark Andrews? Like, are Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce first rounders again?
Yes.
Yeah, so that already you're talking about pushing people back, and then the pass catchers that I think would go high.
I put Josh Allen there too. Yeah. Of course. I'm just saying, like, you endured a couple of weeks of him getting into that offense. But
I'm sorry.
Now that he's in there, he's great.
We have time to go on a tangent. You just mentioned Josh Allen. Is next year the year someone goes quarterback first round?
Is it going to be you?
If it's not any of you guys, I can promise you it's going to be me.
What if you're 4th pick?
Yeah, I think I would. I think I absolutely would.
Oh my God.
I think yes. Are you saying that it would be dumb to take 40 points a game? Because I don't think that's dumb. I think that's how you win fantasy football.
Okay. I think it's still dumb to take him the top 4 pick, but honestly, you're right. He will go in the first round. Yes, he will go in the first round.
And then, going back through these rosters, this was just a beatdown. This was a bad week from Brandon, but this is his floor. So,
Yeah, Brandon's a contender. A contender. We can go off on a little bit more of a tangent here. I would say right now the top 2 teams is Brandon and Michael, and then Josh close behind. That's my current opinion.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. I may be a little bit higher on Josh than you sound. It sounds like you are, but
Yeah. If Lamar gets back to the way he was playing those first 3 games, then Josh is absolutely a lead favorite. I just don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Okay. Anything else you want to break down from this matchup?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Next one we have. I'm on my iPad, so I'm having to move screens here. Chris versus Trenton. Chris dropping 108, Trenton 121. Obviously, we know Trenton's got a great record on the back of Josh Allen. We just went on that tangent. Let's look at this breakdown. So, Josh Allen's a guaranteed 30 points a game, which is ridiculous. Leonard Fournette's been a great pick for where he was at. Jamar Chase finally had his game. You finally got what you wanted out of your keeper. He was phenomenal. Curtis Samuel gave you nothing. Gerald Everett, in the tight end landscape, you're pretty happy with that. 128 is not a great score, but based off last week's scoring, you take that all day. Christian McCaffrey is continuing to do what Christian McCaffrey does. Miles Sanders, decent game. Juju had a great game. And then Devontae did decent. It's just when your quarterback gives you 4 points, there's not much you can do. And then MBS goosed, which is brutal. So he didn't have a terrible week, but Carson Wentz getting injured really fucked him.
Yeah, I mean he's working off the back of Christian McCaffrey right now. Juju's not going to do this again, so you've still got problems, but you went up against Trenton. Trenton does have a good team, so I know we just talked about who the contenders are, but Trenton's going to be sniffing it around the end.
Do not like Trenton's team. It's fine, and it's once again on the back of Josh Allen, but I don't see a way that team could make the run through playoffs currently. Just my opinion. Next matchup, we have myself versus Michael. He absolutely demolished me. You told me it'd be close. You gave me false hope. It's your analysis to have.
Well, so the analysis is he had 6 20-point scorers, essentially, because one of them went for 26 and the other one went for 29. So there's 120 points that your team, unfortunately, is just not going to be able to keep up with.
Did we cover the Pittman trade last week?
I don't remember. I don't think we did.
Okay, so that was another big trade. I mean, Michael Pittman in exchange for Drake London and somebody else. But anyways, I think Michael fleeced him. Michael absolutely fleeced him.
Michael Pittman has not had a good year. So, I mean, he took a flyer on him. He's a good player. Everyone thought he was going to produce in that offense, but he hadn't so far. So I don't know that you can necessarily say anybody got fleeced or anybody really won.
No, I'm saying it.
Michael took a risk, and it paid off. Alex, your highest score would be the 8th highest scorer in this game.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. That's not what you want to hear. Yeah,
no,
I'm with you. Isaiah McKenzie, I'm telling you, I rolled him out. I was excited about that start. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. He's going to have a day. Jeff Wilson fumbled early. Dalvin Cook's game was dog shit. He just broke off a touchdown at the very end. And then Aaron Rodgers is fine. I'll still take him over Russ. I noticed you dropped for us right after the weekend.
I had to. I'm not going to keep doing it. Tua's about to be back. We'll roll with Tua.
No doubt.
Is there anything else you want to talk about here, or do you want to?
Nope. Tyreek's great. Kenneth Walker's great. Alvin Kamara's being very involved. And, of course, Jalen Hurts should probably be a help for a league winner. He's absolutely a contender. This is a fucking squad he's got right here.
Just bury the tape. That's all this game is. Just bury the tape.
Yep. All right. Is that the end of our matchups? We got one more here.
We have myself and CJ.
Yeah, so CJ beat you by 18. You put in the group text that you were very confident you were going to win this game. So That's a shame for you. I can't, the same thing happened to me, right? Ramondre's going off. DK didn't even have a good game, but Mark Andrews is such an advantage. I mean, Elijah Moore literally goosed him, and he still dropped 120. Jason Myers dropping 13, so annoying. Kickers are ridiculous. On the other side, go ahead.
I just want to say really quick, I had the highest score in this matchup. Raheem Mostert, off the back of 19 touches the week before, was completely uninvolved. JK got hurt. Russ is fucking Russ. I mean, I had reasons to be optimistic coming into this week. Egg on my face for sure. CJ, I promise I wasn't overlooking it. I just thought I had a better team. But yeah, just bad news. You were going to break down CJ's
You're
side.
so wide receiver deep because you made the right starts over Gabe Davis, but it's like you just wish you could plug Gabe Davis where JK was, right?
Yeah.
And then, good call not starting Taysom Hill. No, you had a rough week. Yeah, Russ is fucking brutal to deal with. Stephon Diggs is elite. The reason you even dropped 100. And that's it for the past week's matchups. We're finally starting to see some disparity in the league. Some teams are breaking off and some are falling far behind, but we have a lot of season left. That being said, let's go ahead and go into our week. Are we going to week 7?
Yes, we're going into week 7.
Week 7 matchups. So sad. You're going to handle our first one. It is Brandon versus Matt.
I don't see that as the matchup. Hold on. I may be looking at the wrong fucking thing.
You put in the show doc, but it's not. It's Matt versus Austin. So go ahead. Take that away.
Matt versus Austin. Okay. That makes a little more sense. If you're looking at it, go ahead and go.
I was on the wrong show, Doc. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. I have it pulled up now, so I'm ready to go. All right, we are looking at the Cooper Troopers and Beta Blau. Current projection has Matt 13 points ahead or thereabout. Let's see. Tom Brady should eat against Carolina, so you should be excited about that if you're Austin. You're still starting Aaron Jones. You can't do that anymore. You've got to – I mean, would you rather start Aaron Jones or roll the dice with Clyde?
I would still take Aaron Jones, yeah.
That's just so tough. And then, I mean, Melvin might get fucking cut, dude. They put him in time out.
Hackett came back out and said that he's going to be the starter this week.
He's going to fumble twice. Amon-Ra's finally back off bye, so that's good. You're excited about T. Higgins going against Atlanta. Nick Chubb should absolutely eat against Baltimore. That defense is, I mean, it's hit and miss. They've had bad weeks where they get torn apart. We'll just have to wait and see. Derrick Henry against Indy is not a great matchup, but yeah, I mean, I'm just looking like going across like Nick Chubb, Benjamin, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones. Like Matt should win this week for sure.
Yeah, it should be easily Matt. St. Brown, he's back to full health, and he's obviously his big player. So we'll see what he can do against Dallas's defense. And then Nick Chubb is touchdown dependent. It really is. But could he get 2 touchdowns in any given week? Yes. So yeah, I'm obviously taking Matt here, but this is one of those that could be a different. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Go either way, but also Austin is a good defense, and
speaking
so
of that,
projections will be closer.
Yeah. So you're about to break down Logan and Nathan for us, and this should be a close game.
Yeah, so this one is 121.9 projection versus 123. Nathan slightly favored. Joe Burrow just had a field day, but Cincinnati's play calling is still somewhat conservative. So it'll be interesting if against Atlanta it's still more of a Joe Mixon day or not. And that's what we have on the other side with Logan. That's going to be probably the key matchup here. Is it more going to be the running game for Cincinnati or the passing game? Najee against Miami should be decent, especially if Pickett's in there. Montgomery versus New England, that's brutal. Waddle versus Pittsburgh, I think you're pretty happy with that. Kelsey versus San Francisco, he's going to show up. And I like Godwin a lot. Herbert should get on track against Seattle. CD against Detroit might be the best game of his year. If Darren Waller doesn't play, he's in tight end trouble. But against Houston, if he does play, should be good. And I'm still not thinking Keenan's going to play, so I'm taking Logan here. What about you?
Well, I'm going to take Nathan. His running backs are gross. Shit, even his starting receiver is gross. But he's got Joe Burrow, Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce, shit, even Chris Godwin. I really like those matchups. Mike Williams is so boomer bust. Darren Waller might not play. Christian Kirk has cooled down so much. CD should be fine. I still think Justin Herbert is working through injuries, so I will take Nathan here.
All right, next matchup. You're going to go ahead and take it away. It is CJ versus Josh.
Yeah, CJ versus 5-1 Josh, and CJ is favored, at least in the projections. So CJ's working off a 125.9 projection across from Josh's 120.3. Immediately, the first thing I see is Lamar Jackson, and then you look on the other side, you see Derek Carr. Obviously, huge advantage over to Josh. So, I mean, if you're working with Lamar across from Derek Carr, I think that's such an obvious advantage that even projections aside, I am much more comfortable taking Josh here. How about you?
I think so, too. Josh has a more reliable team. I already talked about Joshua Kelly being out, but that's just going to continue Austin Eckler's run. Debo versus Kansas City, he's going to be a necessity. They're going to have to use him. Mike Evans against Carolina, that he should do what he does. And then on the other side of things, you have Mark Andrews, which is great. You have Chris Olave versus Arizona. So if Jameis is back, which I think he's supposed to be, should be okay. And then Ramondre should continue on against Chicago. So this is a good matchup. I lean Josh as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if CJ won. Next matchup, we have Trenton versus Brandon. Take it away. Oh, is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
It's me. How embarrassing. Okay, so Trenton's forced to finally start Geno. This is the Josh Allen bye week, so you got to think that Brandon's pretty happy about that. Same thing, right? You're looking at quarterback matchups, Geno against a decent Chargers defense, and then Patrick Mahomes at San Francisco, whose defense is also good, but he's going to do what he does. Saquon should eat against Jacksonville. This will be a good test for Breece Hall. Devontae probably has a couple touchdowns on Houston. Pat Freiermuth versus Miami will be interesting if he clears, and then we get to see his relationship with Kenny Pickett. DeAndre Swift, if he's back versus Dallas, we'll see. Dallas is a tough defense. Fournette, that'll be interesting. The Fournette versus Carolina will be interesting to see, what they're able to do or kind of offense they come in with. You're hoping to get another good Jamar Chase game. Curtis Samuel, we'll see with the new quarterback. I imagine he actually might be a safety blanket. We have some close projections here. I'm leaning Brandon, just more reliable overall team, bigger names, bigger players you can rely on. But that's just me. What about you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely leaning towards Brandon. And here's an interesting thing about Brandon's team is he is starting 2 rookie wide receivers with another one on the bench. And what do you think about Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, Drake London? Pick 2.
I'd probably go both rookies, yeah.
Well,
they're all 3 rookies, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm going Drake London and George Pickens.
Yeah, okay. Pickens, yeah. I mean, I really like Garrett Wilson. I think that Jets offense looks dangerous right now. I think,
are they playing the Broncos?
They are playing the Broncos. So that's
Broncos
obviously
do have a very good defense. And do you really want to place both Breece Hall and the rookie receiver?
Of course not. I totally get it. But I think, if he got the 3 rookie wide receivers this year. Obviously, you'd like to have some more established guys. But all in all, I think Brandon should win this week.
Yeah. The more I'm looking at it, it should be, honestly, I'd be really surprised if it wasn't Brandon. Okay, next matchup, the Toilet Bowl, myself versus Chris.
Yeah, so we've got a couple low projections. Chris is currently projected to win with 110 to 107.2. Is this your optimized roster? Like, have you worked on it and gotten all your starters in place?
Yeah, this is probably what I'm rolling with.
Okay. Well, okay.
So I don't think I'm starting Terry over Jacoby or Bateman, but obviously if Bateman's out, I'll have to. And then I'll have to make a decision if Mac Jones doesn't play. But I still think this is what I'm leaning. Yeah.
Okay. So quarterback matchup, we're looking at Aaron Rodgers versus Ryan Tannehill. I think that's probably a wash. He's got Christian McCaffrey, so he's got the boom factor on his side. Juju just had an incredible game, but he's going against a much better defense this week. Oh, Josh Jacobs against the Texans, man. The Texans don't have a bad. I don't think so. I don't think nobody has eaten against the Texans this year. Like, they've been in a bunch of close, nasty games. I don't know that the Raiders are necessarily going to walk into Houston and just absolutely set the place on fire. Like, they haven't looked good either. They're in last fucking place in the AFC.
Do you agree with his choice to continue to start Evan Ingram over Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
really?
Kyle Pitts is so gross. Hey, I bet you're probably pretty excited to see what you have in D-Hop, right?
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I need for D-Hop to turn this team around. I need him dropping 40 a game. So.
Okay, well, I am going to take Chris this week.
Okay, and I actually think I do win this week. George Kittle has sneakily looked pretty good, and they're going to use him. I would feel like they need to use him as Kansas City. I don't know if Jeff Wilson's in the doghouse or not. If he is, then that could be brutal on me, and I could eat crow for not starting Etienne over him. Zeke versus Detroit with Dak back. This will show me if I've actually got someone with Zeke or not. Obviously, that second round pick has already been a failure, but if I can, get any kind of credit back for that pick, this game will show that right here. So I do think I have a good shot at winning this one. I'm taking myself, but wouldn't be shocked if I was 1-6. I'll tell you that. Last matchup, we have Michael versus yourself. You caught a break because his Eagles are on bye, so you don't have to deal with AJ Brown or Jalen Hurts. Of course, you did lose Marquise, and you have Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson and Gabe Davis.
I'm not the one who caught a break.
Yeah,
Michael caught a break.
I take back the caught a break comment. That was obviously foolish. Damian Pierce, though, should be pretty good against Las Vegas, right?
You're goddamn right he should be.
God, you're starting Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I'm starting Taysom
Hill and Zach Ertz. Dude,
Zach Ertz is fucking tight end 3 on the year. You can eat shit on that one. But yes, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
You're about to get murdered.
Slaughtered, dude. Not even going to be close.
Yeah.
This is going to be a disgusting week.
This might be a fucking beatdown. Yeah, sorry.
It's going to be a fucking beatdown. It's just depending on, like, Michael, it could be a beatdown where Michael scores 120 and I score 57. Or it could be a beatdown where he scores 160 and I score 57. Either way, my ceiling looks like 57.
You think you're going to be the low scorer this week?
Oh, if anybody scores worse than the team that I currently have assembled, they should be relegated.
So, hey, do I get any credit for not being the lowest scorer yet? I mean, do I get any credit for that?
No, of course. I'll give you a ton of credit. It's just your team is bad.
It's bad. It's real bad. But the fact I haven't been lowest scorer is truly remarkable, considering I've broken 100 twice, and I haven't won since the Queen was still alive.
That's a fun way to judge that.
All right. I think that's all the matchups, right?
That's it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Good luck this week, and we'll all talk soon. Bye, Justin.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.